Sarangi, the Defence Minister has given a statement in Parliament, but the government seems reluctant to have any kind of debate on our broader China policy. This comes at a time when our trade deficit with China is widening, even as we have these border aggression, both first in Ladakh 2 years ago, now in Arunachal Pradesh. Why is the government reluctant to have a debate in Parliament on China?
There is no question of reluctance on part of the government to have a discussion. I want to make it extremely clear at the outset. See, the point is that there was some kind of scuffle on the night of December 9th in the Yangtze area of Tawang. And let me tell you, there are moments when dignified silence is more powerful. It's a powerful weapon. And when it involves the security of the country, you know, things need not be publicized. Now, as far as this particular issue is concerned, this skirmish is concerned, let me tell you very candidly that no other than Sri Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister of India, came to the House and made a statement. And when the minister makes a statement, I think we all need to trust him. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. And he has spoken with a sense of responsibility. Now, there are issues which just cannot be debated upon. You know, this is not just an ordinary matter. This involves the security of the country, the territorial integrity of the country, and we cannot demoralize our forces.
No, it's not about demoralizing. Can questions be asked, ma'am? It's not about, ma'am, it's about questions. Are we saying that questions cannot be asked if there have been transgressions into eastern Ladakh, if there is a Chinese build-up in places along the border? Is the opposition not entitled to ask what is the government's policy towards China? If you recall, after Galwan, we were told government intended to ban Chinese products, Chinese apps. 2 years later, our trade deficit with China has gone up. That's also been admitted by the Commerce Ministry. So is the government, what is the government's policy for China is a question that can be asked surely.
No, see, who says government does not want to answer all questions? But you know, there are two aspects to it. Let me be very clear. As a citizen of the country, I am deeply pained today. We should unite together to commend the efforts of the Indian soldiers who did a commendable job on that particular night. Now here, these people are basically Prime Minister Modi badgering lot. So they would all assemble together and they would actually be kind of, you know, demeaning the efforts of the government, which would ultimately be demoralizing the armed forces. See, they are doing a commendable job and there are certain issues which need not be actually debated upon, and we cannot rip things apart like this.
No, but there is a distinction between the Modi government and the army.
Any question, they are giving questions in the parliament.
Miss Aparajita Sarangi, isn't there a distinction between the Modi government and the army? It is one thing, the army's efforts are to be applauded, they are repelling attacks from across the border, but is the government not to ask? You see, it seems almost that when questions are asked of the government turns around, you are demoralizing the army. Why? If the government's policy towards China needs to be questioned. One moment the Prime Minister is on a swing in Ahmedabad with his Chinese counterpart. Next moment we've seen what's happened in Depsang, in other parts. Surely these are questions that can be asked. What is our approach towards China?
Of course. See, Sri Rajnath Singh's statement has been heard by all of us. Now, whatever our stand, whatever was done by us, everything was put forth very candidly before the House. Now, thereafter, there was no reason why there should be ruckus and disruption of proceedings. See, question hour is a very important part of the day. All of us, all the members of parliament gather together to actually, because they want them to be heard, themselves to be heard. And at that point of time, if they create a ruckus and they disrupt the proceedings, I don't think this is right. There are other ways of having a discussion with the government on these sensitive matters.
Okay, let me take that. Let me take that to the Congress.
Government is not at all reluctant. Government wants to answer all the questions. But there is a way.